Hello everyone. So
Hello, sir.
we have here with us Dr. Shivani Mahajan. Hi Shivani.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
So good evening Shivani. And at the outset, heartfelt congratulations on your great achievement.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So Shivani, I see that you have scored rank number 17 in the NEET SS, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you feel? How do you feel?
Sir, I'm feeling elated. It's unbelievable. I checked my roll number twice or thrice to make sure that it is really me. But it feels amazing. That's just serious.
So how did you find the result? When you saw this, what was your initial reaction? Who did you call up?
So I was home alone yesterday when I got a message from my friend saying that the results are out. And he checked my roll number as well. And he just told me that you have scored this. So I just had to make sure that it's really my roll number. And I was almost in tears. I called my mother, I called my family, told them. So all of them were really happy, really elated. And yeah, it was amazing. Great feeling.
So nice, incredible. We also share in your happiness. Can we know more about you, your background, where you're from, where you do your post-graduation and all that?
So, sir, I am from Nagpur. I did my MBBS from Indira Gandhi Government Medical College, Nagpur, and I did my MS in obstetrics and gynecology from the same institute. I passed out in 2023. I graduated in 2023, and so I was thinking, I got interested in gynec-oncology during my preparation for final year for my MS exams. And but I wanted to finish my bond first, so I did my 1 year SRship in the same college. And after that, I wanted to get some exposure for gynec-onc, so I worked at National Cancer Institute in Nagpur itself. And and this time I gave the exam, and the results are out here in front of you all.
Yeah, that's great. How did you get this interest into gynae during your MS days?
Sir, when I started reading, when I started reading the books on gynec-onc, I started finding it interesting. But I just thought that because we did not have so much of exposure of gynec-onc during our MS days, so I just wanted to make sure that I really like working, and not just like reading is different, but working is an entirely different thing. So I got to get I got that exposure. I got to work in gynec-onc for 5 months before I decided that this is what I had to do. I was sure. And then I prepared for my NEET SS. So yeah.
So how was your preparation? When did you start? How was it? Your ups and downs?
So, sir, I actually appeared for NEET 2024, the one that took place in March, but I wasn't prepared as well. And then I just switched. I just joined the Onco Institute, so I couldn't prepare as much. But then I think in till September, I was just going. I was working. I understood the basics while working. And in September, I gave up. I resigned from my job and I started preparing full-fledged. And I started watching the videos. I started referring to the Marrow notes. And in the last 3 or 4 months is what I prepared wholeheartedly.
Okay. So within those 3-4 months, you went into a direct crash course.
Yes. Yeah, sort of.
How helpful were the study materials from Marrow?
So I watched this time. I watched all the videos. I watched Sakshi Ma'am's videos. I watched your videos on gynec-onc, and I prepared some on my own. So that they were really helpful in understanding the concepts. And this time the paper was quite conceptual rather than being very factual. So I solved all the modules from Marrow. I gave all the tests, grand tests, whatever the ones that those were in previous year tests also. Made some bookmark questions which I revised before the exam. So I think that really helped me get this rank.
How were the grand tests like when you compare it? You must have given many other tests also, maybe.
So, sir, the Marrow tests I found to be more conceptual, and that is how I thought the paper was this time. Like, not very factual questions. Not very the questions weren't very factual, but they had like it involved applying concepts, understanding the basics. So, how you would approach a clinical scenario. So, I think that the simulation was quite helpful for me because I thought they were pretty similar in that aspect.
Coming to the paper, like how was the exam actually this time? How were the questions like distributed?
Sir, so like the three sections, I think the questions were all interspersed. There was no fixed one section dedicated to one particular topic. A lot of basic obstetric questions were also there, which the Sakshi ma'am's videos really helped me with them. Very conceptual questions. A few questions on onco were also very tricky, but I think knowing the basics was that was the clincher.
Many times we get to hear like this year gynae questions were the tougher ones. Last year it was like more for the reproductive medicine. Did you find any pattern like that this time?
So last year I thought that there was a dedicated section for gynecon questions. This was not the case this time. I thought questions from gynecon were fewer as compared to last year. Like they had more questions from gynecon, but this time they asked a lot of basic obstetrics, basic gynecology. A lot of basics were like basic. There was more focus on basics as compared to last year, is what I felt. And definitely the branch specific questions were slightly like fewer in number as compared to last year.
Were you a little disheartened when you saw gynae questions were like not too many this time?
Honestly, I was, because I was I had like the biggest focus was on gynecon this time because but I think whatever now with the result, I think I am happy.
Yeah, because you have put yourself on the right track. You have got some hands-on experience from a cancer institute. You have
Exactly.
spent time on that. All that will get reflected once you join the course and you start your career there, right?
Yes, sir.
So do you think you got some advantage or edge over your other competitors when you like opted for Marrow and you were preparing, and finally when you see after you have given your exam?
Sir, I think
You might have compared with the others, but I just want to know your aspect.
So last year, the preparation that I did this time, I spent time on understanding the concepts, and I think the lectures really helped me with that. I didn't do that much last time, but this time I really focused on the lectures. I made sure that I at least the most important topics, the high yield ones, I made sure that I watched them like from start to end. And that really helped. The lectures was, I think, the biggest difference that was this time, because that helped me really understand the basic concepts. And obviously the questions, I solved all the modules, so, and I was very sure of the questions. I had made like bookmarks for the questions that I wanted to revise at the end. So I think that that was really beneficial. And I think the lectures was something that I would say that made the biggest difference for me this time.
And then the lecture videos are like a very like a large database, right? So how much time did you get to spend each day watching the videos, solving the questions? How did you like prioritize your day? And how did you change your priority closer to the exam time?
So in the beginning, I used to make sure that I watch like 4 or 5 videos a day. And then I used to like watch a video, then solve questions, and I like go back and forth. When when towards the exam, as exam started approaching, so I made sure that I watched the ones which I thought were the most high yield. And towards the end, I focused more on questions and revising the notes uh, rather than watching videos, because that is what I did in the initial part of my preparation. So towards the end, it was more of questions and Marrow notes.
So you had Marrow notes and you made your own notes also side by side.
I kept adding whatever I felt was important, whatever important points I thought I got from the MCQs. So yeah, towards the end, that was my revision material.
And maybe the day before, how was it? Did you keep on revising or did you chill? How was it like?
So I was pretty nervous the day before, honestly, because I was fine the week before, but just like the evening was, I was very nervous. I was very anxious, but I kept revising the notes. I thought that this is whatever I can pick up, towards the end, I brushed through the notes and I kept revising as much as I can, uh, because I thought a little bit will make a difference, is what I thought. So that was how it went towards the end. And I had kept gynecology specifically for the last, especially the staging, the protocols for treatment, and the trials and all that. So that was my last minute before I went inside the exam hall. So that was what I was reading the last.
And those are really volatile topics, so you'll have to have a last glance always.
You have to keep going about them all the time. The more you do, the better it gets.
During the exam, were you able to manage time well and all that?
Yes, sir. I mean, my way of solving is that I go through the question first. Whatever I can solve, I solve it first. Then I come back and revise the entire thing. So the time was not much of an issue for me. This is how I had done all my tests also, that whatever I can solve, whatever I am sure, I solve it first. And then I come back, and then whatever questions I think I need to think more, that's what I solve towards that. But I think time was not an issue for all the 3 sections.
And majority of the questions you knew you were right?
No, sir. I mean, I just thought from whatever concepts I knew, I just thought whatever, this is the right answer.
So whenever you had some doubt between 2 options, to choose between 2 very close options, you might have depended on your concepts, right?
Yeah. So I'm it doesn't matter what you think. It's like what you have learned, and whatever you have revised is what is right. A lot of times that happens, that, this seems right because somewhere we have done it but the concept, I think it's very important to stick to the concept. It's not what you think, but what the concept says. That is how you clinch the answers, is what I think.
Very well said, Shivani. So any advice for your future aspirants where you have actually fallen into the track? What about those who are trying to prepare for this? How early should they prepare, or when should they actually be really serious about preparing? At least what time period? Many people think that should be 6 months, 3 months, or can you work and also prepare? So what is your take on it?
I think it's very important to be during your MS. I think if your basic concepts are clear, then I think it helps a lot. I think 3 or 4 months, 3 months of dedicated preparation is something. I think that should suffice if your concepts, and if you have read well throughout your MS, you've sharpened your concepts. So I think 3 to 4 months of dedicated preparation should suffice, is what I feel.
Do you think just textbook reading and solving questions would be enough, or would you actually recommend these people to be part of some platform?
I would recommend to be a part of some platform, because I think the lectures and these platforms give you very focused and very important insights into a lot of concepts, which sometimes we tend to overlook, or we tend to brush through when we are reading. A lot of times what questions are exactly asked in the exam are different from what we prepare during our MS days, because so I think the platforms help you get the correct insights and help you nail those topics better. So I think some platform is necessary.
So coming to your future, have you already locked in your choices, options?
So I have thought about a few. So let's see how the counseling goes this year. A lot of it is dependent on that also, I feel. So yeah, hoping for the best.
But you have kept your options all wide open, right?
Yeah.
Because you definitely have to get into a seat, and you will definitely make it. And you have a very bright future ahead.
Thank you, sir.
You have started that on a very, a strong, you have already built a strong foundation on that. So now you have to just keep on building, and you have to never lose hope, and never lose your the vision that you already have. you might have like seen, because you have already got some exposure from the Cancer Institute, you also understand it's not only about doing surgery, it's also about caring for the patients, giving them the right management, and treating them holistically. You learn all that. You have lots of things to learn or add on to your uh, what do you say, your armamentarium. So I, from myself and from the entire Marrow team, again, we congratulate you
Thank you, sir.
for this great feat that you have done. And very best, we'll surely keep in touch. And
Sure,
once you're part of Gynae Onco fraternity, you will also remain part of us.
Definitely, sir.
So hope we'll again remain in contact and get to know more from you.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Thank you.